everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Geek Tank. My name is Dave, and I'll be your host for tonight, and I am joined, as always, by Kyle, Josh, and Nate.
Evening, chaps.
I had to resist the urge really bad to just like breathe really heavily into the mic while you were doing that.
I hate you so much. I finally, I've knew this for a long time, but I'm just starting to realize, and sorry to break this whole illusion that's been happening, because nobody said it to me as of right now until I mentioned it. Apparently,
I never noticed.
I did notice. I always noticed that you can hear my breathing in the background of these podcasts. So I have installed a mute button so that when I'm not talking, I'm going to mute myself so you can't hear my obnoxious breathing, because apparently I have a breathing problem. Sorry, I just want to live. I just want to live. I have to breathe to live. Fuckers.
He's got the nose clog cataracts. I don't know.
It's the cataracts.
So, gentlemen,
some sleep rights, buddy.
Noserax.
Jesus Christ. So other than that, how have we been this week, gentlemen?
Fantastic.
Just walking around catching Weedles and Deduos.
Oh,
and
Jesus Christ.
That's a word.
Pokemon Go has been...
now.
Dude, I kid you not, when this game came out, I went into work that day, and I got called into our audio department because it's always busy in there. And here I am, I'm helping like 2 or 3 customers at the same time. They're all asking me stuff. And then one of my audio associates just walks past me with his phone and goes, "Dude, I just called a Pidgey." As I'm like juggling the rest of my customers, I'm like, "Fuck you, do your work."
And then the manager came by and he's like, "Hey, I just caught your unemployment form."
I am the manager. I should have that's the most fucked up part. I'm his manager. But
He's got some
I don't
balls.
know another manager.
yeah.
There's a gym right at my office building, but I sit too far
Nice.
away to play at it. So I check it and I'll see who has it. I'm like, I know him.
I haven't even been to a gym yet. I'm not even level 5. Like, I've barely been doing anything. So I need to step up my game and go.
Get
I
on
need to
that
go to the
shit.
park tomorrow is what I need to do, and catch a
There
bunch
you
of Pokemon, because
perfect.
when I look, the park is like 2 blocks from me, and when I look over there, it's like just tons of leaves going. I'm like, oh god, they're all over there.
Have you guys seen the stats for this app?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
currently got more. The user count is bigger than Tinder. Its active users are about to surpass Twitter, for fuck's sake. Its usage time is more than WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat. Let's see, what else?
I mean, it's gonna drop off hard really soon.
Oh, of course.
but- yeah.
Yeah.
But I played the beta, and I couldn't talk about it when I was in the beta, but I was like showing people, even though I wasn't supposed to. I was showing my friends and stuff. We're at the park. I'm like, oh man, I'm catching Clefairies and stuff. And then every time we were at lunch or dinner or something, I was like, hang on, I'm checking to see if there's any Pokemon around or whatever. And they all thought I was crazy. Well, who's laughing now? Because now that it's out, they're all doing the same shit. They're like, oh man, there's a fucking Beedrill in my soup. And I'm like, all right, man.
And you were giving me shit about this?
Yeah, I'm like, y'all giving me shit when I'm at, like,
Nintendo stocks are up 10% because of this one fucking thing.
yeah,
Oh my god.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how it took off. I'm happy that everyone's like actually excited about something again.
Okay, and we'll talk about that more later. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Geek Tank, a show where we dive right into the trenches of the gaming industry and give you our brutally honest opinions. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and every other platform every single week. If you like listening to this, please make sure to leave us a like or a favorite. Just let us know that you enjoy our show, because whether it's your first or 15th time listening in, even though we only have 7 episodes, you're an honorary member of the battalion. So, without any further ado, we're going to talk about the news of the week. Okay, so
Man, I've got the strangest feeling of deja vu. Just kidding.
anyway, so with not going in any particular order here, we'll start with this one's coming from the Zero Review. Evolve going free to play on PC. Nearly a year after the incredibly hype release, followed by an almost immediate player base drop off, Evolve has fallen almost completely out of relevance in modern games, short of being a harsh lesson in overhype. Oh, Sean Connery. However, developer Turtle Rock Studios will not let that
You're
be
the
the
man,
chapter.
dog.
However, developer Turtle Rock Studios will not let that be the chapter that Evolve closes on. In a recent blog post to their community, Turtle Rock announced that Evolve will be going free to play on PC, starting with an open beta on July 7th. As stated by the developer, they want to, quote-unquote, recapture the magic that surrounded Evolve before its release. In this new free-to-play version of the game, many changes have been made to help optimize the experience, from class balancing to overall performance improvements. Any players who purchase the game or a season pass previously will be treated as, quote-unquote, founders, which will afford them some very special rewards, gifts, and access. And they note whatever that means. And then they just go on to give their opinion of it. So what do you guys think of Evolve going free to play?
Hype.
It's a good move.
I never got to play it. I didn't want to pay for it, and now I don't have to.
Yeah, so
I'm actually excited. I feel like this is what the game should have been from the get-go, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, I just played it before we recorded, because I'm actually doing it for one of my videos. So I jumped back in just for like a match or two, and it plays just like I remember. It plays really well. I never remember it being like a bad game. Like, that wasn't really the problem. It was all the bullshit DLC that was really the issue. Yeah, I mean, first I played as the hunters, and what I did notice is that the matches go a lot faster. But if I remember correctly, like during the beta,
I hear that they did make a couple of small changes.
Yeah, and it seems
like the trapper and stuff.
Yeah, like everybody can do that dome thing now, where it closes the monster in. So you don't have to just have that one class that can do it anymore. Everybody can do it. So really, it's just a matter of finding the monster, and then you can trap him and fight him. That being said, the monster, I think, has also been buffed, because he really takes off your health pretty quickly if you let him hit you, and it's pretty easy for him to hit you because your stamina runs out really fast. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, it plays really well. I'm not sure how well it's going to end up doing, but free to play is a good move.
I think it'll do fine.
I've heard that the numbers are, I think, up their highest point since launch. I may be.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it got us so much hype and stuff at launch. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's the thing where people like to say that, like, oh, it was never a good game. We always knew this, and it's like, that's not true.
No, it was. I mean, from what I hear, everybody previewed it and they said it was a good game, but they previewed it too many times, and then by the time it came out,
it's just like when people are playing it, when you're playing it at an event or whatever, and you've got your friends and your buddies around you playing, and it's like, oh, this is great, but then when you jump in by yourself, it doesn't have that same magic. So,
yeah. That, and it's hard to convince, like, it's easier to get your friends to try a free game with you than it is to be like, hey, can you pay $60 for this game and then, like, also have a PS4 and also have PlayStation Plus and also this,
right.
It's a little tougher. And also I think a lot of one of the problems people had with it coming from Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was like pretty accessible. Like, you get pretty hardcore with it, but for the most part, like, anybody could pick up and play Left 4 Dead and just be like, zombies, oh my god, and then it adjusted to like make it tense but not too difficult, whereas this was very much like pretty hardcore, so it just felt like not as user friendly, I guess, is what I would say. But I don't know. I downloaded it, but I have yet to turn it on. I need to do that, see how it is.
Hey, we should play together, Josh. I mean,
yeah, I've never even played it, so I am interested.
Yeah, we should definitely play. It's a lot of fun, and when you have more people with you, it's definitely it's a different game. But at the same time, I think what really killed this game was just what killed the game. Well, I guess, is it dead? I don't know. But what killed it at first was the fact that, to be honest, they marketed its DLC horribly. They were already announcing the season pass for this game before they'd even shown gameplay. That was how bad
I don't know
it
if that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
That hit a large portion of like the audience and made people upset, but I don't know if that's necessarily the reason why so many people stopped playing. We just had a big player drop off like Titanfall.
Yeah, that too. And Battleborn. Cry. But anyway,
is Battleborn basically dead at this point? Like, I don't hear anybody talk about it.
I'm not talking about it. And I was one of the guys. A flash on the pan.
I see like 2K Games occasionally retweet something about it, but like that's about
No.
it. Yeah, and you were like the most hardcore supporter I knew of that game, and you don't even talk about it anymore. So
Yeah, so that's pretty telling.
yeah.
Anyway, moving on, we are now going to talk about, and we just got done talking about this, Pokemon Go. So, this comes from Polygon. Side-loading Pokemon Go onto your Android device may bring malware along for the ride. I'm just going to condense this. Basically, what was happening was in certain regions where Pokemon Go is not available right now, people were actually torrenting the game and putting it onto their phones. And
Yeah, because if you have an Android, you can basically do whatever the hell you want.
You can do that.
Because that's what's awesome about it.
Exactly, but at the same time, they're also getting Trojan viruses.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're torrenting the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it just goes to show like how far people are going to get this game. You know, they're just like they can't wait, so they're just torrenting it to get it now. And
Yeah,
fucking up the server load for everybody else.
People were doing that when Hearthstone was coming out on Android because they didn't release the Hearthstone, or they didn't release the iOS and the Android version simultaneously. People were like torrenting like the European version or like the Canadian version and stuff, and then getting it to work by doing some like finicky stuff. That's kind of one of the beauties of Android, to be honest, that I love about it, is that I can just do whatever I want to. I can break my phone if I want to, but
that's the beauty of it.
I'm not gonna, because I live in the US of A and I can download Pokemon Go bip bop a doop. But yeah. But yeah, be careful.
Be careful. Anyway,
do your virus check.
Moving right along, we are talking about another article from Polygon here. Summer Games Done Quick sets another record for charity. Basically, they had this week-long festival. Again, it's Summer Games Done Quick. For those of you who are not aware of what it is, basically, it's a week-long event where a bunch of what's the word I'm looking for?
Nerds.
Speedrunners.
That's what words just leave me at times, and I sound like an idiot, but it happens to the best of us. Anyway, speedrunners will stream themselves playing various games. I think at one point I saw like a Zelda game, and then there's this one about the Pepsi game I'm seeing on the video here. But anyway, they just play a bunch of games, and then they do this mostly for charity. And this year they actually raised almost $1.3 million for charity.
That's awesome.
Which is amazing.
Doctors Without Borders for this one, right?
Yeah. Which
I've watched some. I didn't watch any this year, but last year I watched a couple of them, and it is incredible. It's quite a sight. Last year I watched someone beat Half-Life 1 in like 24 minutes or something like that. And it was insane. They're basically glitching. They're glitching through walls because a lot of the levels use the same memory. So they're like glitching through walls to get to levels they're not supposed to get to, and then beating those levels and stuff. It's crazy. And they basically do like a glitch, and they get to like the last boss at some point just by like doing this thing. And they do this thing where like they constantly jump with a wrench in their hand, and it makes them move faster. And also they rotate the camera, and it makes, for some, like, I guess it adds pixels to the jumping animation. I don't know. He was explaining it while they did it, and it was pretty insane, but it was super entertaining to watch. Yeah. And then I just watched, actually the one I did watch from this year was the Mario World run, the chase, or not the chase. What the hell am I saying? The race. They had four Mario World speedrunners race each other, and
that sounds awesome.
The completion time was like 4 minutes because there's this glitch you can do to basically you'll invert Mario's like textures, like his colors, basically, so he'll look like a black dude. But like they do this weird thing where they do that and then something else, and then they hit the Yoshi block and something weird happens, and then they can do something else, and then all of a sudden it just says like it does the thanks for playing, like the end screen. Like
wow.
It's it's crazy. Yeah, that was like 4 minutes or whatever. It was didn't someone beat Pokemon Red or Blue in like 30 minutes or something? Wasn't that one of them?
That sounds like something.
Or was it like an hour?
That's still insane.
I know somebody did one of the Final Fantasies in like an hour.
That's retarded. Doing those games are like, like 40-hour games, like huge games, and they're somehow condensing them down into an hour. Like, granted,
well, I mean, they're definitely glitching.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, they're part of the entire story.
I mean, it's part of it. So
yeah,
they're not. they're not going through the entire story.
It's still cool that they were able to raise this much money. I mean, it's showing that like gaming is starting to gain more and more legitimacy. We were talking about this months ago, that we're going to start seeing stuff like this, you know, to show us as more of like a legitimate industry, that we're raising this kind of money just by people watching other people playing video games. That's amazing. I mean, we would never have thought of that five, 6 years ago. Never would have thought of that.
Yeah. Well, it's like Extra Life. I mean, they raise a lot of money doing Extra Life. Specific gaming communities will do a lot of live stream stuff. Like you know, recently there was a bunch of Destiny streamers did like a 48-hour thing. They raised They raised like $40,000 for something. I don't remember what it was. It was like a muscle disease or something like that. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, and that this is all awesome stuff. I'm probably gonna do Extra Life this year. I did it last year.
I want to.
And it was pretty fun. I did it in shifts though, which is way better because the first time I did it, we did a 12-hour run and it was exhausting.
It's difficult.
I didn't even want to look at a video game after that. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's better to have a team, and you can just do, you know, you can switch off and give your eyes a rest. I mean, I don't even think I could do 12 hours because I think, you know, I think that would actually like make me sick if I had to do that.
Yeah, but, I mean, we switched off, but we were all on the same. We were all in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was exhausting. It was a lot of work, but we did raise like $200, so that was cool.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
Video games are awesome. Anyway, moving right along here, I had to include this one because it includes a restaurant in my home state, New Jersey, the greatest state in the union.
Oh, boy.
So, pizza place overwhelmed by Five Nights at Freddy's calls. A real-world pizza place in New Jersey is being overrun by calls from gamers asking if the restaurant has anything to do with the video game Five Nights at Freddy's. It doesn't. Asbury Park Press, via Kotaku, reports that the pizza joint in question, Freddy's Restaurant and Pizzeria in Long Branch, is seeing its phone lines ring off the hook, but not always for pizza orders. The calls are coming from children nationwide who want to know if Freddy's is in fact Freddy's Fazbear Pizza, the setting for a popular online video game called Five Nights at Freddy's. Freddy's is trapped in a sea of never-ending telephone calls and is hurting the business. The restaurant added phone lines, it shifted employees around handling incoming calls, the report added, and its regular customers have had trouble getting through to place their orders. And then it goes on to do some history of the restaurant, and then it says, how many calls are actually being placed? More than you might think. I've never seen anything like this, said a waitress who worked at Freddy's for over 34 years. You can get 200 calls in an hour. It's very annoying. You try to do your job and you keep picking the phone up. What the fuck? Like, what is going on?
Kids.
People need to calm the hell down. It's because probably somebody on like 4chan or something was like, I'm calling this place, and then everybody's like, let's call them, and then it just spiraled out of control.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, what a bunch of fucking jackasses. Like, calling his pizza place.
I'm betting you it's just a bunch of kids. It's a bunch of dumb little 13-year-olds.
They're like, Markiplier played this game. Let's Markiplier, he played this game. Let's call him. Yeah.
What's up,
did you catch is that a sand shrew in your mom's closet? Let's go get it.
I mean, and honestly, I can see how annoying that would be for them because, like, pretty much every pizza place in New Jersey is
that would change my fucking number.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting the phone ringing off the hook. Like, pretty much everyone in New Jersey orders like a shitload of pizza. So, like, even if you're like not even that good at pizza, you're still getting calls constantly just for orders.
New Jersey is made of pizza.
New Jersey is made of pizza. I will stand up for pizza.
Hey, can I get let me get
there
some
are
pizza.
There are actually, I think, like within my like the radius of my apartment, I think there's like at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 pizza places within like a mile radius. It's pretty, it's insane. But anyway, I feel bad for them because like they probably have no idea what Five Nights at Freddy's is in general. So
they know now.
They do know now. And we were just talking about something that makes
confused as fuck too.
We were just talking about something that makes video gamers look good. Now that just makes video gamers look terrible because they're just harassing these poor people.
And back. Video games.
Well,
because I'm dressed like a cat.
Anyway,
no? Did it take you a while to get that?
Nah.
2 steps forward, I take 2 steps back.
Just stop talking.
Because I'm dressed like a cat.
We're moving on. Okay, we are moving on. This is another one. This is another one from Polygon. Former Ubisoft employee opens movie studio dedicated to adapting video games. The former CEO of Ubisoft Motion Pictures, Jean-Julien Baronnet, is opening up. I nailed that, dude. I stick that fucking line. Is opening up a new. Is opening up a new film studio that will focus exclusively on the adaptation of video game titles into future films, according to Variety. Baronet, who was the CEO of the video game publisher's specialized division for 5 years before being replaced in March, told Variety that he wanted to start Marla Studios because making great adaptations takes more than just understanding how to make films. It also takes someone who has a deep understanding of developing video games and knows what gamers want to see in a film adaptation. He's worked on other titles like Tom Hardy's making an upcoming Splinter Cell movie? Okay, well, I learned something
Is that
today.
real?
Yeah, I learned something today.
That's cool. I'm into that.
Yeah. Baronet said he is currently in talks with a bunch of other studios to adapt their titles, but didn't say who those studios are or what games they may be. He added that one of the biggest problems studios face when it comes to adapting games into film is that they tend to stick to the main story arc of a game, and that doesn't work. Instead, Baronet said producers need to study and know what makes the game's universe great and try to bring that into the film. Honestly, I think this is really cool. I think that like somebody's actually making a studio that's dedicated to video game movies and actually kind of understands that you can't use the main story because the main story is just too long. You can't condense it for the most part.
I heard they're working with a digital playground
in it and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what they shouldn't? Here's a word of advice. If any email comes through that's got Dennis Diak's name on it, just throw it away. Throw it away.
Or Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll, yeah. I want to make a Dungeon Siege cinematic universe. No.
Jesus Christ.
No, Dungeon Siege is a dead franchise. Leave it alone.
What's that vampire movie that he made?
Vampire. Jean-Jacques.
Vampire
I don't know.
You're not talking about... he didn't make vampires.
Blood Rain.
Blood Rain. He made fucking 2 of those movies.
Jean-Jacques and Blood Rain.
Oh yeah, that's right. I watched that. Yeah. Yeah, those movies, no. Just no.
Even those games.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never played Blood Rain.
Never played them.
I watched my best friend's brother play them like way back in the day, and they did not look that great. It was just like, this is hot chicken leather, and she's a vampire, and she's fighting Nazis of all things. You're like, oh, okay. I guess that's cool.
Let's get a Legacy of Kain movie out here. Come on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I like that.
Legacy of Kain has such a cool universe. It's like the vampires won and shit. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, actually, speaking of games that were on the PlayStation, next story is coming from GameSpot. PlayStation executive leaving to become game developer. PlayStation executive Adam Boyes has announced his departure from the company. Boyes worked at PlayStation for more than 4 years, currently in the position of VP of Third-Party Relations and Developer Technology Group. He confirmed the news on Twitter today, where he tweets that he's saying that he's leaving PlayStation, and it's all been amazing. Thank you, PlayStation, and all that. Boyes will be returning to the quote-unquote the world of the game development, although he did not elaborate where he would be headed next. Prior to working at PlayStation, Boyes served as director of production at Capcom USA, where he built up a production team. He worked at Capcom for 3 years before parting with the company in early 2010. So yeah, Adam Boyes is leaving Sony.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Boyes has had probably one of the greatest runs of any of the execs at Sony, just because of what he was working with, other than maybe Shu himself.
Yeah,
right.
And yeah, it's cool to see him get back into development. I'm excited to see what he's doing because, like, it's very clear every time we ever saw him anywhere, it's like he's got a passion for games, and seeing him get back to the making them is going to be pretty cool.
So I got to interact with him at PSX in like just in the most brief moment possible. So I was with a bunch of other best friends, and we were walking down the street coming back from like a bar, and we had gotten lunch or whatever. And we're walking back to the convention center, and he's walking toward us like with his family, and we're like, I want to say hi, but like he's with his family. And then my friend, he just points at him and goes, hey, as we walk by, and then he smiles and he goes, what's going on, boys? And then we just walk past him. We're like, yeah, that's cool. Nice dude.
Classic.
I didn't know. We were like, and then we kept making a joke like that we were gonna bug him even though he's with his family. But like, yeah. Yeah, it's I bet like he kept seeing all these indie titles, and he just sat in his office with some scotch, and he's like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." He's like, he wants to get back to making them. I get it. So that's cool. He didn't say where he was going though, right?
No,
Microsoft Studios.
that would be the funniest thing.
I'm working on 343 Industries on the next Halo.
Yeah, I'm working on this indie game.
This little indie game called Halo 6.
I don't know if that's in here, but did you guys see the stats about Halo 5? I don't know
What
if you guys
stats about
put
Halo
that.
5?
You didn't? Okay, so one of the developers on at 343 went on the Halo subreddit and left a comment about the stats for Halo 5 multiplayer, and he said that Halo 5, before they even did the free thing for a week that they did, I don't know if you guys saw that. If you were a gold member, you could download Halo 5 and play it completely for free for a week. But even before they did that, apparently Halo 5's multiplayer has the highest population of any Halo game since Halo 3. It surpasses
No.
Halo 3.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
What?
That makes sense. Just think about the user base that Xbox One has in comparison. It's just, I get it.
That and Halo 5
Yeah.
is just a really good game. I mean,
Yeah, it's just awesome.
it's
And
an
I think
awesome
Halo
game.
5 is the best the multiplayer's ever been.
Oh yeah,
Period.
without a
Here,
doubt.
both of you, get out of here.
You gonna come at me with armor lock? Get out of here.
Anyway,
Was that Reach?
That was in Reach.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
in Reach, yeah.
Armor lock sucked.
But anyway,
Yeah.
actually, this is relevant. Speaking of Xbox titles, our next story is Xbox One Scorpio getting trade-in programs from retailers. Microsoft is working with retailers to offer trade-in programs for the new, more powerful Project Scorpio. Many retailers, including GameStop, already offer such programs for other systems, allowing you to pick up new hardware or less money when you trade in your older console. Microsoft's Dave McCarthy said in a new interview that this is to continue for Project Scorpio, though specifics are not being shared at this time. Says, quote, some of our retail partners today do trade-in programs, and that's definitely going to be partnerships we continue to move going forward. We want to make that transition as smooth as possible. I'm not exactly surprised about this. I mean, it's
No. It's got
awesome.
and it's probably not even going to be that significant of a discount. Honestly.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Excuse me. I just ate dinner
A
30 minutes ago, so things are coming out of me. Hashtag.
Hashtag Josh. Josh is dying.
Oh, excuse me. While I make this opinion about Microsoft now, and I'm just slowly being murdered. But yeah, I still want to see the thing and know why I need to have it before I care.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Personally, I feel like a lot of the stuff Microsoft's doing is reactionary because I always sound weird taking this stand, but I feel like, no matter what they do, people have got something bad to say about it. And don't get me wrong, I've always been on the side of saying, I don't want these bigger, better versions of consoles coming out. But regardless of that fact, I felt like a lot of people, at least who were pro PS4K Neo, whatever, seem to be thinking why would I ever want an Xbox 4K? Why would I want an Xbox One S? Why would I do any of that? Because all these games are going to be on PC, and it's there's just new options.
Yeah, but it's going to be
this is a
cheaper
good
than
move.
owning a PC that's going to be able to play those games.
I mean, the Scorpio is
I
still
mean-
going to be expensive, though. I mean, just looking at this thing's hardware.
But at the same time, the I think you can build a PC or it would still cost probably a bit more.
I mean,
yeah,
even
yeah.
regardless of the
People,
fact,
what
I
it's doing.
personally always feel like I'm a guy who plays primarily console. So no matter the fact, I'm always going to want a console over a PC. So just because these games are coming to PC does not mean that I have a less incentive to go out and play these games on Xbox. So I think there's always people like that out there. So, but I mean, that's
Sure.
That's not here or there. That's not part of the.
Well,
Yeah, but it's also if you're a console gamer, you're probably not going to play anything on PC. I know most of my friends don't play anything on PC, so I mean, it's just the way it is. So and it's if you're gonna give me a better Xbox that's gonna play all these games, the fact that all those games are on PC anyway is not gonna change that.
I agree. I think for the most part, console gamers just stick to console games. So.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I'm at the completely opposite side of it because the majority of my friends play on PC, and so they're kind of just ignoring this whole thing, whereas I'm the only one that really cares, which is that's pretty funny. But as far as like, I think I'm thinking about picking this up because I'm starting to feel this way where I want like my PC, if I'm going to sit down and really play something like a hardcore shooter, or like something I'm really getting competitive with, like Overwatch or Overwatch. But if I want to like sit down and like relax in a chair and play like a platformer or a game like Gears of War or something like that, I'd want to be sitting in front of a TV, and I'd want like the most powerful system that's out there. Really, I want the games to look as good as they can. So I mean, me personally, and this is just me personally, I'm probably gonna end up picking up Scorpio at some point. Probably not the minute it comes out, but at some point.
Yeah.
But enough about what I want. We're gonna move on to the last piece of news for today, and this is not what I want. This is what Nate wants. So
yes,
No Man's Sky has finally gone gold. Developer Hello Games has been teasing something on the No Man's Sky Twitter feed for over the past few days, and today the secret was finally revealed. After 4 years of development, the game has officially gone gold. For those of you who do not know, the term gone gold derives from the practice of creating a gold master of a game once it's been determined to be fully and finally fit for release. It's done, in other words. Patches notwithstanding, development is over, and we'll soon get to actually start playing the thing. So
excited.
I'm excited. I think this is awesome.
I'm really bummed because I had all of these death threats that I had prepped and ready, but now I can't use them.
It was you the whole time, Kyle. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was great. That was an excellent joke.
It's like that Captain America thing. I understood that reference. But
yeah.
But
No Man's Sky, it'll be good. Probably.
I need to get a joystick before I play this game though. Because I'm playing it on PC, and there's no way I'm playing anything like spaceship related without a joystick. So
is this coming out the same day on PC?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
I've seen it on Steam. I'm pretty sure. Like for pre-order. I'll have to check now. You got me paranoid.
PSVR.
You don't have to. Well, I mean, you don't have to pre-order it. It's just a digital game. I mean, come on, Josh. But.
Well, yeah. Like now that I have super fast internet, I don't need to like. Preload stuff, but I want to play it, you know.
It's only 6 gigabytes.
That's interesting. It's only 6 gigabytes.
It's only 6 gigabytes. Well, because I think a lot of the planet data is server side.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's awesome that this game has finally. I mean, what a story this game had. I mean, I think we all remember when we saw it at E3, and it was pretty much just like a PC game back then, and everyone was super excited about it, talking about it, and then that flood hit and just destroyed their studio. And you know, it's just crazy to go from that to, and then being picked up by Sony, and then finally just being released, and being a real game. It's quite a journey they've been on. I hope the game is as good as the hype has been making it out to be.
It's not gonna be. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably not.
I know there's gonna be people that love it, and there's gonna be people that this is so overhyped, because that's every game.
I'm more excited for Joe Danger, to be honest. Get back to what you really do.
Joe Danger was legit. I liked Joe Danger a lot.
Never played it. I don't really ever intend to.
It was
It's gonna
fun.
be better than this No Man's Sky trash.
This trash. I don't want to explore endless levels. I just want to be on my motorcycle.
Utter trash. Give me the experience of Joe Danger. A real artist's creation, not this crap.
True visionaries, Joe Danger.
I will stand up for Joe Danger. Joe Danger was super
I will
fun.
stand up.
I'm just joking. I've never ever fucking touched Joe Danger.
Oh. It's sort of like it's hard to explain. It's almost like a what's the word I'm looking for here? Like when you go through like
simulation.
Huh?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
No. Anyway, it's like an obstacle course game, sort of.
Okay.
Where you're like timed and you're trying to get as many stars as possible, but you're on like a motorcycle and there's like speeds and things to avoid, and so it's enjoyable.
So clearly a better game.
I like those kind of games. So clearly the better game.
Yeah, and clearly a very clear pedigree of a developer that's going to be making a space exploration game. But
It'll be good. I'm really excited.
Back to Joe Danger, Sean Murray. I'm right now, my fucking next death threat right now.
Okay, so do we have any last thoughts on No Man's Sky?
Hype.
I'll buy it.
Okay, so if that's all we have to say, then we will be moving on to games that are coming out this week. So first up on the list is for PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One coming out on July 12th, which is 2 days from now. Actually, it's the day this podcast released, Tuesday. Song of the Deep, which is made by Insomniac Games and being published by GameStop. Summary: in this game, you'll explore a huge undersea world, both free diving and in a submarine. It's a Metroidvania style of progression where you're constantly getting new abilities and figuring out ways to upgrade them as you take on a seemingly impossible obstacles that stand in your way. It's a challenging journey designed to test your mind and your reflexes in equal amounts. And that says Insomniac in quotes, which is weird. So, do we have any thoughts about this?
This game seems cool. I'm going to I feel like I'm not going to really pick it up unless I hear a lot of good word about it, which is possible. I mean, it's a good time of the year, I think, for smaller titles like this. For instance, just went through Inside, which is getting huge praise. So, I could totally see Song of the Sea being another. If I don't think it'll be as good as Inside necessarily, but if it is good, get some good buzz, then I could see another situation like that. It's an experiment, seeing, it's going to be the first GameStop published game, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens to it. Other than that, I don't really know.
Yeah,
I think it sounds like a weird title for a Spider-Man game.
I get it, Nate.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, Nate.
No problem, buddy.
That charge up ability.
I'm just gonna go be quiet now.
Gotta let it charge a little bit more, buddy.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, moving on.
It's like the cuckoo clock of podcasts.
So, the Resident Evil 5 remaster is getting released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The biohazard threat has not ended. Just when it seemed like the menace of Resident Evil had been destroyed, along comes a new terror to send shivers down players' spines. Not really, though. Chris Redfield, returning to Resident Evil hero, has followed the path of the evil literally around the globe. After joining a new organization, Chris heads to Africa, where the latest bioterrorism threat is literally transforming people and the animals of the city into and maddened creatures. He is joined by a new partner, Sheva Alomar, who lends her strength, intelligence, and sharpshooting skills to the mission. In order to survive, Chris and Sheva must work together to take on the challenges of discovering the truth behind this evil plot. Utilizing a revolutionary new two-player co-op mode of gameplay. Wow, this is old. Players assume control of either Chris or Sheva and experience Resident Evil in new ways. In Resident Evil 5, Capcom has players fearing the daylight as much as they have feared shadow in previous games.
I think this is a really weird name for a Spider-Man game.
Shut the fuck up, Nate. Moving on.
Dude, why did they say literally 5 times
I don't
in
know,
there?
man.
Because
you'll literally be scared. You're literally going around the globe, and by literally going around the globe, we mean Africa.
It's made by teenage girls that are drinking their pumpkin spice lattes.
And they can't even.
Oh my god. They're coming back. Or PSL. Not PSL. What the fuck am I saying?
Oh my god, he's literally a tentacle monster.
Oh no.
Okay, we're moving on before that goes down. We are going to move on before that goes down a dark path. Anyway.
No, I just wanted to talk about hentai for a second.
I know, that's why we're moving on.
Is that the plot of Inside? You're actually a tentacle monster.
July 12th. July 12th, Daydreamer Awakened Edition comes to PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One. Daydreamer Awakened Edition tells the story of the last human who wakes from an eternal sleep to an unfamiliar Earth. Aliens invaded the planet thousands of years ago, and the nameless protagonist was kept in a stasis chamber as a twisted relic to memorialize their victory. However, the mysterious immortal gatekeeper liberates her and sets her on a dangerous expedition to the Earth's core. Be warned, though, the aliens will do whatever it takes to get their trophy back, and the Earth is filled with frightening creatures that hunger for human flesh. So...
Okay.
Flesh.
Yeah,
Light.
I mean, I'm just looking at just the thumbnail for the video, and I'm just like, no, just no, thank you, I'm good.
So anyway,
No, thank you.
Hentai and tentacle monsters, right?
Moving on.
They kept you in stasis for one reason.
So you can watch Bible Black on repeat.
Oh fuck! I'm ashamed to know what that is.
I've heard of it.
I've seen it. It's not...
Let the hentai seep through.
No.
Oh wait, I know what that is.
And I'll explain the story in detail. If anyone
No,
wants.
we're
Yes.
Yes, I'm unaware.
No,
Explain to me.
no.
Someone throws a penis.
No.
I will.
No.
I will put a picture-in-picture of Bible Black on the YouTube video for everyone.
No.
Do
God
it.
damn
Don't worry.
Kyle.
Don't worry. I got you.
Do
covered,
it.
I
guys.
hate you so much.
Oh my god, do
Join
it.
the battalion.
Join the battalion.
Oh my god. I love it so much.
So July 12th, Ghostbusters for PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One comes out. Have you and your friends been experiencing paranormal activity? Grab your proton pack and join Ghostbusters as they explore Manhattan, blasting ghosts and trapping those runaway ghouls. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
The reviews are coming out for the film.
Yeah, IGN gave it like a 6.9.
It's getting fairly good reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it's middle of the road. It's pretty good. Okay, moving on. Call of Duty
So the Bible Black of Ghostbusters.
Speaking of black things, Call of Duty Black Ops 3: The Descent.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
For
Whoa, hang on.
Whoa. Is that that Black Spider-Man game?
Shut up, Nate.
His name's Venom.
Just shut up.
Wow.
Miles Morales.
I'm not gonna let this die.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Miles Morales would be
Big
awesome.
preference.
I would love that.
He's like 8 years old.
Yep.
Oh, Miles Morales is not 8.
He's like 14.
Same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Whatever. So yeah, it's just the
What
DLC
we're
for
talking about.
it's just the DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Multiplayer environments including Cryogen, an isolated cryo prison, Berserk, a Viking village frozen in time, Rumble, a future robot combat arena, and Empire, a reimagining of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Classic Raid, as a lavish Roman villa.
They just like slipped that Viking stuck in time in there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm
You haven't seen the trailer for this?
intrigued. No, I have not.
It looks amazing.
That just
There's
sounds
like a
pretty
fucking dragon. Call of Duty always gets really weird with their zombie stuff, whatever.
If I had time to play Call of Duty, I'd probably pick it
Did
up.
you guys
but
see
I
that
don't.
canceled Call of Duty game that was like a Spartan third-person action game or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like crap, but I don't think it was. I think it was way far away from even being an alpha. So
Yeah. They came out and said that they were never in serious talks to really get that.
yeah.
It was just like one of the things they were trying to.
It was like when they were gonna make that PSP third-person Vietnam Call of Duty game. That never happened either.
I forgot
sort of like
they were gonna
a
do
No
that.
Man's Sky. It's a similar situation to that.
What, that they thought they were
What?
going to do it and that they did? What?
I mean, No Man's Sky is not coming out for like another 20 years because it got canceled.
And then it'll get
There you go.
remastered in a Kickstarter or something.
I'm way too tired for this. I'm just too tired for Kyle's mind right now. We are not drift compatible at this point, Kyle Bradford.
Just wait till I
play
start
the-
posting videos.
Play the Bobby's
Basically,
World
like Kyle,
thing.
if we tried to get into a Jaeger right now, we do that thing where like one of us chases the
Sure.
rabbit
Someone-
and then we almost blast open
Someone
the
would be
hanger.
having a seizure.
Basically,
Someone
yeah.
would just be straight up having a seizure.
Yeah, one of the kaiju would just rip off the head like it did in the movie because we just don't know what
See,
the fuck
like
we're
one
doing.
of us would have a seizure, the other one would be disco dancing, and the Jaeger would just be fucking like falling apart.
It's a real strong pitch for us to be Jaeger pilots, Kyle. But
Jaeger pilots, baby, strip it in your beer.
what?
What?
I need to get us through this.
sword.
I need to get us through this list right now.
You can get it. Come on.
So
Let's go.
the next game, and this is I can't even believe that someone even went with this name. It's called
Spider-Man?
Militant, which is like militant, but they capitalize the A because apparently
What?
militant.
That's a great name.
Is it an ant game?
It seems like it. Let's read the summary.
That's a great
Militant
one.
packs
Good.
rich stylized.
For real?
Let me read. Militant packs rich
No.
stylized insect worlds in high definition. Novel 2.5D shooter gameplay, action, customizable weapon loadouts, a large variety of enemies, and epic boss battle. Militant immerses players in an insect-based world through fast-paced, unforgiving action gameplay, combining classic side-scrolling controls with modern 3D visuals, delivering a completely refreshing experience that all players of all ages can enjoy.
Yeah, not just a little refreshing, but completely refreshing.
Yeah. it
Also,
sounds-
why did it say epic boss battle?
Oh,
Why
no,
was
sorry.
it not plural?
no, I think I did.
That's the whole game.
Did I cut off there? It's battles. Sorry,
No.
but yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
You shouldn't have corrected it. I liked the canon that we were going with.
I love that they had the balls to say that it was that it was, fully refreshing, not slightly. So I will be purchasing this
just for the nerve.
This Ant Warfare game.
Just because they have the nerve to say that.
Could
They're
we?
Like, they got balls. I'll buy it. Why
Could
not?
we have Activision? Could you make a Call of Duty game where like everyone is ants, but like, but it's like normal, like it's like normal Call of Duty shit, and they just like from the marketing and nothing, like everyone just acts like it's normal, and
That actually sounds
that
pretty
would
good.
be great.
It's like
Call of Do Ant, and then we'll like
they would call it Call of a Bug's Life.
yeah, it's like there's like the cockroaches, or no, they were grasshoppers. It's like you got to fight the grasshopper menace. They're coming over the sea, and just put them in army helmets, like SWAT teams. There's one of them's named Pierce, and they're just acting like it's normal. They're like, the bombs are coming. They're diving everywhere, and then everyone is just left wondering what the hell.
I would support that 100% if they actually.
I'd buy that.
Definitely.
I'd be like, whoa, they're getting really creative with this Call of Duty this year.
Okay, so we're almost done here. Coming to PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One again on July 12th, Super Mutant Alien Assault. A quick, brutal arcade platformer. The player must fight off an alien assault across 12 rapid-fire single-screen levels, with each random combination of platform layout, objective, vending machines, and enemies.
Vending machines?
That was kind of that seems out of place. Honestly, like
Vending machines.
my enthusiasm, I could just feel it drop as I was reading this for whatever reason.
Really, because every time someone reads me like a synopsis for something, my enthusiasm is at a total 0, and it'll go either way.
Yeah, well,
have you read the synopsis for Bible Black?
Shut the fuck! Oh my god!
A woman grows a part she's not supposed to have. What's gonna happen?
It's funny that everybody knows that scene. I was like under the impression that like that was like one small scene in the movie, but apparently
a friend of mine bought it at a friend of mine bought it at a Rasputin Music, and they didn't check his ID.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I mean, it's
a good man.
Yeah,
it's a good man.
I'm guessing like Rasputin Music's kind of like Sam Goody over here. I'm not sure if you guys did. You guys have?
Yeah,
that?
we had one Sam Goody like at one of our malls, and it's just gone now.
Yeah, I mean they folded a long time ago. I remember they used to have like blatantly just put porn in the store. Like you could like they put like that little thing over it, like that little thing with like the Playboy bunny on it that was white. It was like it covered the cover of the DVD, but you literally just move it and it's there. It's like
nice.
But
God,
you're like, whoa,
nice.
It was so shameless. I'm sure Kyle would have loved it.
Nice.
Whoa! Did you sneeze? What was that?
I was just moving closer to the mic with everyone.
Okay. So
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Let's get this.
This is a weird episode.
Let's get this train wreck of a topic over with, and I'm going to go with the last game, which is coming to PS4 and PC. Adrift with a 1. Adrift with a 1 is an immersive first-person experience that recounts the story of an astronaut in danger, floating quietly within the wreckage of a destroyed space station with no memories and a critically damaged EVA suit. The lone survivor struggles to understand the cause of the catastrophic event that killed everyone on board. The player must
I'm
fight...
sorry, did you say an EVA suit?
It said EVA. EVA. EVA.
So this is Evangelion, second impact.
This is a Wall-E thing.
I've never watched Evangelion, so that was my impression of what the theme is probably like.
Good for Shinji. Anyway, the player must fight to stay alive by exploring the wreckage for precious resources and overcome the challenges of the unforgiving environment. I'm talking over you to repair the damaged emergency escape vehicle and safely return home. Starring Sandra Bullock. But that's what it sounds like.
Whoa, Sandra Bullock's in a video game? That's crazy.
No, I mean, I'm just making fun of it, but...
I know, I was kidding.
I actually think this looks really cool. My favorite, like one of the mechanics of this game is to get around the spaceship you're in. Since you don't have gravity, you have to sling your webs to push yourself around.
I hate you so much. Fucking damn it.
That was a good one.
That was good. That was
good. That was well set up. I like that. I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm into
I
it.
just like how like your callback jokes this episode is all about Spider-Man, and I'm just trying to push hentai to everybody.
Now we need to make Spider-Man hentai, and then we're good.
Bible Black.
What do you mean? You can.
No, you two
Let
are
me
not
win
doing the
some.
fusion dance on this show. You're
it.
not. You're
Do
not. You're not.
Fusion.
Okay.
That video. Oh my god! I couldn't even make it all the way through. I was dying.
It was so funny.
So funny.
There are yeah.
Just the part 10 seconds in where he's like, I just shut it off. I was like, shut it
Just thinking
down.
about it makes me laugh.
Wow.
I love how all of our listeners totally know what we're talking
They
about.
have no
don't.
idea what
They
we're
have no
talking
idea what
about.
we're talking about, but they will know what we are going to be talking about next. Because now,
Oh,
boys,
nice.
it's time for the topic of the show. Okay, so because everyone else and their brother is talking about it this week, we felt we should talk about it too, mostly because we wanted to. So if you guys didn't see the thumbnail, you didn't know what you clicked on, today we're going to be talking about something that popped up at the beginning of last week, pretty much after we posted our episode, so we were like, fuck, we can't talk about this. So now we're a little late, but it's cool. So I wasn't really involved in any of this. Did any of you, I mean... let's not do it that way. Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either. I'm tired and
Just-
What are you saying?
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway,
What are we talking about?
Ants.
So about a year ago,
Pants? I'm into that.
two YouTubers, both by the name of T Martin and Pro Syndicate, began making videos about this website called CSGO Lotto, where they would show themselves making a lot of money off of the website. Basically, they would sit there and say, hey, I just found this website called CSGO Lotto. It's really cool. Here, check it out. And they would show themselves playing the game, and they'd win some obscene amount of money and be super excited about it. Oh my god, I won like $13,000. Oh my god. And so
Kyle.
Use the coupon code.
and during all of this, they
Use the coupon code. Geek Tank to watch Bible Black.
Go to csqlotto.geektank.com.
Yeah, we're not being-
Bible Black.
we're not being supported by that. But
Not
anyway,
like the beginning. Not like the beginning where you have a chance to see yourself.
you guys just aren't gonna let this go, are you?
Like
You're not.
right in the middle, like right in the middle. So like you have no idea. It's just like bam.
You see, this is why I'm kind of afraid to let Kyle edit this
Guys have
episode,
died.
because
oh my god,
he's probably just
You're
gonna.
not editing any of this. This is all gold.
No. I'm saying, like, I'm afraid to let Kyle edit this because I feel like he's just gonna, like, the minute topic of the show starts, he's just gonna edit it all
God.
out and put Bible Black in. Like, that's-
I mean, I told you to be in picture in picture.
Oh my god, I
worry.
would laugh so hard.
but anyway. Okay, so where I left off, so these guys were making videos about CSGO Lotto, and they were showing themselves winning, and at no point did they divulge anything other than that this is like a link to the website, this is where you can go find it, and news surfaced about 2 weeks ago now, which was done by YouTube user Honor the Call, who pointed out that
That's his
that
name.
CSGO Lotto was owned by T Martin and Pro Syndicate, and that they had always owned it, and that so basically what you can infer from that is that they were going, they were basically making these videos about winning on CSGO Lotto, and they were just rigging the whole
Allegedly.
thing. Allegedly.
I don't know. No, I don't know that they were necessarily rigging. They owned it and they were promoting it in a way that didn't suggest that they owned it. They were
Exactly.
promoting it in a way that suggested that they were sponsored by them.
Right.
When in fact they had partial ownership, which means they were making money off this website.
Exactly. They made a lot of
And they
money
weren't
off of it.
divulging that.
And they weren't
So
talking about that. Although, like I
Right.
said, though, it can be kind of not implied. I mean, you can't really find a way of proving this, but unless they like somehow manage to like go into the website's code and find like if it's possible to do this. But the videos where they're making like shitloads of money have become very suspect because people feel like that they could have
Yeah, they
possibly,
have access to the back
and they
end.
take them down.
Yep.
I think they took down those videos, yeah. And to make matters actually funnier, I don't even care. It's not worse. This whole thing is just funny to me. But to make matters funnier, basically this guy T Martin, who is the owner of the website, the big boss of the website. The first video he puts out is literally he's just saying, like, he's denying that he ever never divulged that he was the owner of the website, even though, like, it's just blatantly false. And he was sitting there, he was like, I apologize that I wasn't too clear about that. And then he goes on to talk about, like, of course I didn't do it intentionally. What kind of psychopath would do that? Like, who would lie to their fans like that? And so then it's of course brought to light that he did lie, because then they backdated his YouTube videos and showed that the descriptions were just recently updated after he was called out. And then he came back with
Cash, baby.
Yeah, he came back with another apology, which sounded like an apology from his lawyer. And it came off super. It didn't come off like he really cared at all. Like it came off like he was sorry he got caught, not sorry about what he did.
Yep.
So, and of course, Pro Syndicate has pretty much been quiet about this for the most part. Even though if you go to his YouTube channel, you just see scammer written on every single video. Like, there's just comments just saying scammer going all the way down.
Well, yeah, everybody's blaming T. Martin for this, and they're not, like, addressing the fact that Pro Syndicate is a co-owner in the entire website.
Well, no, he's still pretty much on the chopping block too. I mean, there's I just don't feel like he's getting enough flack for it as much as T. Martin is.
Give him more hate.
Well, I think it's because
more death threats.
I think it's because T. Martin
threats, please.
We were saying there's a lot of interesting things like happening in this too, and the fact that like there's a lawsuit against Valve right now.
Yeah,
and they're not saying shit.
Somebody, because they are saying like, oh, Valve is basically complacent in this online gambling thing, which I guess you could make a case for. But I mean, at the same time, I'm someone who personally, I don't know why gambling's illegal online. I think it's stupid.
Well, I don't think anyone's arguing about.
I think it should be, but I think the argument is that it allows minors to take.
Yeah, I think that's really what people take issue with, is that minors were allowed access to this website and that they gambled away.
We can't allow coal miners access to anything.
What?
Never mind, just keep going. Don't
Jesus Christ. It's the Bible black joke. What's going on?
It's the don't pay attention. Just keep going.
I've got my cursor over your name, Kyle. Just one click. You're muted.
Might as well ban me.
The problem is I'll still hear him and I'll still laugh.
That'd be funny, actually. Like, just random parts of the podcast, you just hear Josh laughing for no reason.
I was trying to say that we can't allow coal miners access to anything. It was a really dumb joke.
It is a really dumb joke, and we're moving on. So basically, the crux of the problem, really was that they were allowing minors on this website to gamble, which of course is incredibly illegal. You can't allow that. That's 100% illegal. You can't do that.
Yes.
And that Valve was allowing people to link their Steam accounts, therefore Valve is implicated in all of this.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
The thing is, like, it's not. It's interesting because, like, yeah, some skins are worth a lot of money, but like the amount of people that actually make any money off this is like the top 1% of the 1%. I have to do that voice every time I say something like that. It's so low. I've done it before. I did it with Dota, like when I was way into Dota esports. Like, there are like so many websites like this website. There's CSGO Lounge, Dota Lounge, Dota Lottery. There's a bunch like this, and they all operate like this, and they're all about betting on pro games. And people do bet pretty big things on there, and sometimes make a lot of money because there are like, and I know this is hard for some people to wrap their brain around, there are CSGO skins and Dota items that are worth like hundreds of dollars. And people bet them and make pretty good money on them and stuff. So it's a little interesting there. Again, I'm someone who just doesn't understand why. I mean, I can understand the minor thing. Like, we don't want minors gambling, period. Which I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. But the gambling in general online, which is part of this, I don't understand why that's illegal. I don't think, and I guess maybe it's just, and I know that, like, because I'd heard some podcasts about this once. Apparently, the only reason gambling online is illegal is because there's a law that was signed like in the 70s or 80s or something that said that you're not allowed to gamble over the phone. So you're not allowed to like call into a place and like place bets and stuff. And because early internet was run by phone lines, they counted that. So they're like, oh, you're not allowed to gamble over the internet. But now that most internet's run by broadband and cable and fiber optics, like that kind of law doesn't really apply to it anymore. So there are states apparently where you can kind of loophole your way into gambling online and the government being okay with it. But for the most part, it's not. And that's something I think should change, because there's room for legitimate businesses to run and for people that won't get scammed. Obviously, most of the ones online will scam you, but that doesn't mean that they're like ones wouldn't crop up that people would know about that would be super successful.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to happen here is, I mean, and people are already talking about this. This is going to be like the catalyst for legislation about all of this, so that they're going to start taking a real hard look at all this. Pretty much the FCC is going to really look hard at all of this whole thing and start suggesting legislation to our government to regulate this whole train wreck of a gambling system we have going on right now. Basically to stop these kind of websites from popping up that are not legitimate. And basically they're going to be required to follow certain guidelines, but I don't feel like they're going to be outlawed altogether.
I think if Valve wants to, the way Valve could fix this is doing it themselves. And I know it sounds weird, but like make people provide a social security number or something along those lines, like get a verified age, make them have to use the mobile authenticator, which you have to do to put stuff on the market now. You could add all these rules and then run the gambling thing through Steam, and even then you're not allowed to, like, you can't get your Steam wallet out. It's your Steam wallet.
Yeah.
So like I think that would fix a lot, in my opinion. And I mean, as long as you can trade items between players, like sites like CSGO Lotto are gonna exist.
Yeah.
And the fact that people can take these $100 skins and sell them on PayPal and do other things, like that's gonna still happen.
Yeah, you're never gonna stop it. I think really what the crux of the issue at this point, or what's gonna get solved the quickest, is the fact that it was the disclosure thing. I think people are more interested in hanging T Martin and Pro Syndicate than necessarily fixing the gambling system. Granted, it has exposed some issues with it, and people are looking into it now. But I think that the real issue at hand here is T Martin and Pro Syndicate. And I mean,
they also technically broke the law.
They did,
because I think there is a law.
Yeah, they have to disclose if they're the owners of the website. They have to. They can't say that we're sponsored by them. They have to say it. And it does not count if it's just listed publicly that they're the owners. They have to say something in the video, as per FCC guidelines. I'm saying FTC. I keep saying FCC. FTC.
Yeah, Federal Trade Commission.
Yeah. But
I feel like people aren't paying enough attention to Valve.
It's true, and honestly, Josh, that's actually a point I wanted to argue, is that I don't think Valve should handle that gambling scene at all. I don't trust their customer service enough. Like, they're just.
I mean, if you think about it, right? Like, most people that are taking part in the CSGO gambling sort of stuff are people that are under 21 for one, right? So that sort of like makes it really sort of shady from an ethical standpoint. And then on top of that, you sort of like, I've heard the connotation brought up where it's like Valve being silent on all this sort of just proves the fact that they're acting as if like they run the bar, but they have a casino out back that they don't talk about. And it's like, there was a piece written by Brian Crescenti sometime this week that was talking about it, and they talked to one of the lawyers that's representing that guy that we talked about, I think 2 episodes ago now, and pretty much was just saying like, because you know what, actually, here, let me see. I just pulled up the quote. In sum, Valve owns the league, sells the casino chips, and receives a piece of the casino's income stream through foreign websites in order to maintain the charade that Valve is not promoting and profiting from online gambling, like a modern-day Captain Renault from Casablanca. And it's like, it's weird to me that like 100% these guys are fucking jerk-offs for doing that because they misled their community and all that stuff, which is, in my opinion, like that's sort of ruining the whole point of YouTube, you know, the sort of transparency between creator and
yeah, I mean,
audience.
to hear how some of the YouTubers, like the big name YouTubers, went off about that. I mean, like the one that really rings in my head is Total Biscuits. Like he went ape shit. Like he was not happy about that at all. And again, that is Total Biscuits' thing about kind of just going off the deep end sometimes. But, you know, it was particularly strongly worded, and it did have an effect on me. I was like, shit. But, you know, as far as...
Like, Hank Green even came out and talked about it. And, like,
yeah.
You know, he plays games, but, like, you know, to hear him talk about it, the guy that runs VidCon, it's like...
Yeah, he's not really like, he's not a gaming YouTuber, really, but to hear him saying that, like, to hear Hank Green come out...
He has a whole gaming channel.
He does? I thought it was more like just
Hank
like...
plays games.
I didn't know about that.
His channel. Yeah, and his brother John Green plays FIFA on it.
I mean, to be honest, my extent of him is that I've seen a couple of his videos, but like the thing I know him most for is the "I Fucking Love Science" song.
Yeah, that's a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, he did that with
I like the brothers.
He did that with Rob Scallon. That's why I know, because Rob Scallon's a guitar YouTuber. But
is he the who is that? Is that the fucking
he's the
guitar dude with the shades?
Maybe.
You mean every guy with a guitar?
Yeah. He's the...
Man, I'm fucking blanking on his name. Never mind.
I mean, he's the guy who like made a guitar out of like a shovel.
That sounds fucking weird, though.
It was weird. It was like one string, and he put a pickup in the shovel, and it worked. But you know,
I bet it sounds like two metal people grinding on each other.
Basically,
like an episode of Bible Black.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Josh, you knew he was going to say that, so you just lined the shot up.
I did. I lined it up.
You were You were not just complacent. You were.
It's
almost
almost like I owned a gambling business.
What?
Oh.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah. So yeah, Valve. I honestly, and I'm afraid because like. This always happens when this type of stuff happens. Like Valve kind of like they get put in the limelight for a little bit, but then they kind of just skirt out of it, and you know nobody ever really brings it up again. And I just feel like Valve gets the free pass a lot.
Yeah,
I agree.
They are sort of like the libertarian free market, like they're like the anarchists of the gaming industry almost. Like they just do whatever they want.
They're like the loony part of the Libertarian Party, like you know, like the crazy guys.
They're not the people like me who actually like, you know.
Yeah, Josh, you're not crazy.
Hashtag Feel the Johnson.
Feel the Johnston. That's what I'm saying, boy. But
my God,
what was I saying? Oh, the thing about Valve is like because they're a little loony, they've been able to do so many amazing, like. Just amazing things that nobody else has done before. Like the idea of Steam was probably, is a little insane. And like the idea of, we're gonna let our community like fund, we're gonna let our community fund like our DLC for like TF2, and we're gonna let our community fund the International, which is like the highest, basically. Prize pool of any esports tournament ever, and they're a little nuts. When you think about it, they're a little loony, and like they probably didn't think this was ever going to become a thing. And now that it's become a thing, they're probably like, well, what do we do? But they're probably trying to think of like, what do we do without fundamentally changing
who they are,
what Steam is all about, like the weird kind of like economies and the trading and all that stuff. Like there are cool sides to the trading. Like I remember when I played a lot of Dota, like my friends and I would trade like the little, like we would trade our items because we'd be like, oh, I never played this character, you do, I want your like.
And it looks like we lost Josh.
He's gone.
Oh, that cut out.
Nope.
Yeah, we lost you.
Yeah, my headset does that sometimes. What?
I thought you
Anyway,
were
the
RIP.
gist of what I was saying is that the trading on Steam is a beautiful thing, and I'd hate to see it go away because there's so much of Steam that is what makes it unique and so cool, you know? But
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, they're gonna eventually start kind of changing themselves towards like a more traditional business model. I mean, you can already tell with the Steam sales, for example. They brought in Steam refunds mostly because they got sued in England. But now with the new Steam sales, they kind of work
Damn
more
British.
like regular retail sales now. They're not those old Steam sales they used to have. I think that's going to become more of a thing as we move forward. But yeah, they are just a different company. But at the same time, we can't necessarily use that as an excuse for when they fuck up. And like I want to be on their side, but like so much has happened in this past couple of years that I'm starting to not look at them as the good guys anymore. I'm not sure
Yeah,
how you guys
it's
feel
hard.
about
I
it.
think because it's like this is the bad side of a company that's able to do so many good things because they are not publicly traded, right? Like they're able to do whatever the hell they want whenever they want, and in the past we've seen that be create awesome games and an amazing service that has essentially redefined what it means to make a PC game on the platform. But now, as we're seeing, I think it's just one of those things that's like because they don't have the oversight of a board of investors and stuff like that, that like it gets them into hot water every once in a while. Like we were talking about earlier, though, this will blow over and no one will care because I feel like Valve has such good faith amongst the community that they will just let whatever happen. So I don't even really know what we could say that would do anything. It's a weird conversation to have. On top of the fact that I'm a fucking console gamer, so
Yeah,
stuff's even weirder to me.
I mean, there really
Yeah.
isn't much we can do. I mean, it's eventually they're gonna get hit by, they're gonna do the wrong thing. There's something's gonna happen where they're gonna end up in front of a court. This may be it. This may be what gets them in front of a court, and it's gonna start making fundamental changes to their company simply by legislation. I don't think that they're necessarily going to change the way they are just because it's going to be they're going to be forced that way. But
Yeah, they're either going to get forced to pull back like everything that's made them unique, or they're going to have to compromise. I see compromise more so than
I hope
changing everything about Steam, because I feel like Valve's probably got some really solid lawyers that are going to figure this out.
You would
And I
imagine.
really think that like making a lot of like gambling, running a lot of that through them with like verification of like some kind of personal information, like a driver's license number or something. Like I think that will help, but it's going to be hard. Like they might even have to take away the ability to run bot trading. Like that's how this works. It's like Steam bots trade items back and forth. They might have to stop that and just run it themselves and say like people aren't actually making money off this. They're that's money that's only being put towards games. That's
yeah,
I mean that's the only way I see it going forward, to be honest. Like
The thing,
until like some larger legislation happens in the United States where online gambling is totally fine in this like wonderful utopia, that then it'll be fine. But I don't see that happening anytime soon because people are stubborn and it's still just all these old dudes in charge that don't get it,
yeah, for the most part.
I still don't understand how are they going to stop people from when they get this whatever skin that they got from gambling to turn that around to eBay and be like, here, you give me 50% of this from market and then I'll sell it to you or whatever. Because these kids that are getting on here, probably don't know the law that well, and they're like 16, 17 years old, and you're like, oh shit, I can make $500 whatever from this. I don't know. There's so many variables and
Yeah.
shadiness going on. It's
I
complicated.
never, my best Steam Market story is that when I was way deep into the TF2 economy, there's this special kind of, you know how most of the cases are just like 2 cents? They're worth like 2 cents because you gotta have a key to open them. I got this one case that is super rare. It's super, super rare, and it has a chance to drop a gold, version of the engineer's pad, which I guess that item's worth like a couple $100. And I basically, but it's like so low, and the chest itself was worth like $30 something. So what I did instead is, because I could trade it, but I couldn't sell it on the market, is what I did is I basically found a website that would trade me the value of the case in keys, and then I basically did that. I got like 19 keys, like TF2 keys, which each of them are worth like $250. And then I basically sold them all on the market. I made like $35, and then I bought BioShock Infinite for like half off, basically.
Game in the system. I like it.
That's probably the extent of how far it should go, if I'm being honest. I don't know that like these items that are worth $400, $500, like, I don't know, because I just don't care. Like, but I'm not saying like I don't care, like this is stupid. I don't care like that people are doing this. That's more of what I mean.
I don't know. I just kind of sigh at the whole fact that like certain CSGO skins are worth that much. Like that just
it's because
it's a bit insane.
Well, it makes sense. So a lot of the skins that are dropped in these games are dropped during pro matches, and because you can watch pro matches inside of the client, this is with Dota 2 also. If you watch pro matches in the client and you just happen to get one of these drops during a tournament that runs, there may only be 50 of them ever, and they're never going to drop again. And because of that, people are willing to pay, quite a bit of money for it.
I mean, the same rarity thing applies.
It's all about value. Like, it's just whatever someone's going to value, and it's a free market system. The value fluctuates based on how much people want the thing. Like, it's interesting, when I was playing Dota, during the international, somebody was playing a specific character, and they had this specific hairdo that you could unlock. Before the tournament, this hairdo was only worth like 10 cents. And then after I saw it, I was like, I want that. And I went on the market. I was like, what is that? How much is that worth? And it had skyrocketed to $1 after that match because someone saw it and they were like, I've never seen that one before. And then they started buying them. And of course, people started buying them. The market went up. Like, it's kind of a beautiful thing because you can like track markets and stats and stuff, and people like watch the key market like a hawk and actually like buy games doing it. And I think that's like a beautiful thing if people want to do that. But like,
capitalism at work.
Yeah, it's just, man, I think Valve's gonna have to do something, like, unless, yeah, it's like I want US legislation is what I really want, but I know that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So I'm sort of like, if Valve wants to keep what makes Steam special, they're gonna have to do something. So I don't know. This is a big topic. The main problem that I have here is with the YouTubers. I don't really care about what Valve's doing, honestly. My main problem is that like they broke the law. They didn't.
And I think that's what most people feel. Most people, like I said before,
they didn't divulge any of that information, which they're supposed to legally.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of a shady thing to do. Yeah,
and I think what really pissed off other YouTubers is because it's like, it's not just T-Mart and Pro Syndicate. It's like a rampant problem on YouTube that some creators just don't properly disclose their deals ever. Nobody's
talking about this either, but like after that happened, like another big CSGO streamer, Josh OG, came out and said that yes, he co-owns one of those websites, but no one's really giving him shit.
Because he apologized and just was straight up like, "Hey, I don't want any of this."
Yeah, but it's like it's the same thing, you know. So This is a whole thing.
I think people are too busy attacking T-Mart and Pro Syndicate to care.
Oh, for sure.
It's like it's just a wave. Yeah, it's just like, oh, this is topical. This is who everyone's mad at.
honestly, probably by the time this episode posts, people will be pretty much over it. Because it's just
I don't
the
know. It's
internet,
been like
man.
3 weeks and people
Yeah.
still aren't over it.
Right, yeah.
So
What I find crazy is that I've seen so many people on Twitter that like don't understand why it's not okay to do that. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why do you think? I can't comprehend it.
yeah.
Fucking kids.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
some people just don't understand how like paid promotion works, and some people who just like, I guess it's like people who want to defend their favorite YouTuber who may be doing that, and they just kind of go
That's
into
probably what
they
it
go
is.
into defense mode basically, because they're just like,
Yeah.
you know, well, I want to protect my favorite YouTuber, so I'm gonna go against my own logic here, my own interest, and defend this guy
Right, yeah.
or this person for, you know, not properly divulging that they were being paid to promote this product.
Yeah, disclosures are important.
Yeah.
Speaking of full disclosure, we're sponsored by Bible Black.
Fuck you.
Oh, I
also-
love it.
We are also
You think
sponsored
it's
by
good 'cause
Spider-Man.
It starts with Bible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other hentai movies I know.
And then a penis grows out of something, and then you
Right.
go, uh oh,
This isn't what I remember from my childhood.
my pants are off, but this isn't what I remember.
Answer off.
Okay. So I think we've exhausted.
That makes it sound like
We have exhausted the hell out of this topic. So do we have
Have
any
we?
final thoughts on CSGO Lotto? Do we have any final thoughts on this whole gambling? What would we call this? A kerfuffle? Is that what-
e-gambling.
Make gambling great again.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with kerfuffle.
I just think it's super shitty, all of it.
Yep, I agree. I think it devalues a little bit of just the YouTube platform. It
Yeah.
really shows that like, you can sort of do some shady stuff on there.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's always been true, but
People have done let's be honest, people have done way worse stuff on YouTube and Twitch than what's going on here. So
Yeah, you
this
can't stream Bible Black on Twitch.
I hate you so much.
you have to call this episode Bible Black.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yes.
The thumbnail
do
is
it!
just
Yeah.
Oh
a
my
shot of
God.
Bible Black.
Dude,
No.
the SEO would be bonkers. You know that.
It'd be great.
Full disclosure, we did this for SEO purposes.
Bible
Yeah,
Black cast. We're gonna be
if you-
talking about episode 3.
If you search for Bible Black and you're wondering why you're here, that's fine. We're finally divulging to you.
You're welcome.
Why did you stay for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Why did you stay?
Hey, you know, maybe the
After
audiences
the
cross
first-
over. Who knows?
Maybe they're
should've
just
known after
assuming
the
after
first
the
2
episode
minutes.
they'll finally. Okay.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be
This has been the best episode
This has
ever.
been the best episode of the Geek Tank by far. Thank you all so much for watching. By the way, if you want to support us, you can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, every other platform every single week. If you like listening to this, please leave us a like or a comment or a favorite. Just let us know that you enjoy our show. But that's it for tonight. We are the Geek Tank. You have been awesome. And I'm going to go watch some Bible Black now. Goodbye.
Oh.